gym. Every punch thrown a battle from within. They see the glory, don't know the grind. Leave the weakness, leave it all behind. Let's go! Again! Harder!
Some fighters are born with every advantage. Others build greatness through pain. Daniel Cormier was never supposed to be the superstar. Never the tallest, never the longest, never the flashiest. But through tragedy, discipline, and relentless will, he became one of the most accomplished combat athletes on earth. This is the story of Daniel Cormier. Born March 20th, 1979, in Lafayette, Louisiana, Daniel Cormier's childhood was shaped by hardship. When he was only 7 years old, his father was murdered, a loss that would stay with him forever. But instead of breaking, it fueled him. Cormier turned to wrestling and discovered his gift. By high school, he had become one of the best wrestlers in the country, winning 3 Louisiana state championships and earning over 100 victories. But wrestling was only the beginning. Cormier became one of America's elite wrestlers, representing the United States at the 2004 Olympics and again at the 2008 Olympics. He also captured a bronze medal at the 2007 World Wrestling Championships. By then, he was already world class. But his greatest chapter had yet to begin. In 2009, Daniel Cormier entered mixed martial arts, and from the start, he looked different. Despite being undersized for heavyweight, he ragdolled bigger men, controlled them, broke them. His wrestling, pressure, and brutal clinch work made him a nightmare. He tore through the regional scene. Then the UFC came calling. UFC 187, May 23rd, 2015, versus Anthony Johnson. After John Jones was stripped, the light heavyweight title sat vacant. Cormier had one shot. Standing across from him was one of the hardest punchers in UFC history, Anthony "Rumble" Johnson. Early in the fight, Cormier got dropped. The dream almost ended. But he survived. He recovered. And then he took over, dragging Johnson into deep water, breaking his will until finally the rear naked choke. Daniel Cormier became UFC light heavyweight champion. UFC 226, July 7th, 2018, versus Stipe Miocic. Miocic, the greatest heavyweight champion in UFC history. Bigger, longer, stronger. Didn't matter. Within round 1, Cormier landed a short right hand in the clinch. Stipe collapsed. Knockout. And just like that, Daniel Cormier became a 2-division UFC champion, one of the rarest achievements in MMA history. UFC 241, August 17th, 2019 rematch versus Stipe Miocic. Cormier was winning, outboxing Stipe, controlling the pace. Everything looked perfect. Then, Stipe made an adjustment. He attacked the body again and again. Cormier slowed. His movement faded. And in round 4, Stipe finished him. One of the hardest losses of his entire career. No Daniel Cormier story is complete without John Jones. Their rivalry was one of the most personal in UFC history. They fought twice, and though Cormier never officially beat Jones. Their feud defined an era. For many, that was the one mountain DC never conquered. August 15th, 2020, UFC 252. Cormier fought Stipe one final time. A brutal, competitive war. But after 5 rounds, he lost by decision. That night, Daniel Cormier retired. He walked away as an Olympic wrestler, a UFC light heavyweight champion, a UFC heavyweight champion, a Hall of Famer, and one of the most respected men in combat sports. Daniel Cormier proved something that the world often forgets. You don't need perfect genetics. You don't need hype. You don't need to look unbeatable to become legendary. You need discipline, heart, and the will to keep fighting. Because Daniel Cormier wasn't born a myth. He built himself into one. Every legend has a story, and every king leaves a legacy. This is Ring King Chronicles. Who should enter the ring next? Let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe for more.
Champion forever.